you very much. Good afternoon, MadFest. We are very, very excited to be here. So in today's digital, fast-paced world, delivering content journeys in a very fast way and superior customer experience is absolutely crucial. So I'm delighted to be joined by two leaders of global brands who absolutely excel in this area. My name's Laura Thornley. I'm the field marketing lead at Contentful, and I just want to quickly introduce you guys.
Hi, I'm Anna Pashparan, and I am playing two roles in the content world. I'm looking after one team as an engineer manager that's building the connection with content, building those tools that we give to our creators to use to bring that content to the website. And my other hat is looking after the engineering team that's using that content on the Voxy website, which is one of our Vodafone sub-brands dedicated to young people. So hopefully you've heard of Voxy and Vodafone. Pass over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Danielle Bramley. I'm the Global Lead Digital Operations Manager for Costa Coffee. I've worked for Costa for about 6 years now, and I started off on the as a content manager, and still very much a content manager at heart actually, but I was brought on 6 years ago to manage the UK website and app, and since then we have scaled, and we now manage 25 markets and help them with their strategy and new features, and I oversee that with a product team and a tech team as well.
Fantastic, thank you very much. So what excites me today is we have two people from very, very different industry sectors, and also two people with very different job roles as well, but I think the key thing for me is content is king. We have somebody in the marketing world and somebody in the engineering world, ultimately two sides of the same coin. So I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about the relationship between the two, how it works, is it harmonious, is it difficult? So I'm going to come to you first, Danielle. Costa's been around, I can't believe this actually, over 50 years. So over 50 years, delivering great coffee, but also, multiple channels. You've got many different ways to communicate with your consumers. That's, the app, website, loyalty programs, in store. You've also got Costa Express machines as well. So how do you manage that content? How do you manage, multiple streams? And ultimately, how do you work with people like Anna in engineering to make sure that you can deliver that?
Yeah, it's a great question, and there's multiple answers to it, to be honest. So the relationship we have with tech is an incredibly close one. So I sit within the digital product team and also marketing. So it's quite a mixed and varied role. But we certainly rely on our tech team to make sure the solutions that we're putting out there are stable, scalable, and secure. So I mentioned we execute at pace these markets that we scale into. And yeah, we need to collaborate very closely in order to deliver campaigns at pace. And each locale has different needs and requirements, so it's about taking on and listening to the markets and understanding what exactly they want from the brand, because everything is slightly nuanced within their region, but ultimately we need a centralised brand message that we need to make sure is adhered to. So yeah, it's challenging, and there's certainly differences of opinions for sure, but ultimately there's one common goal, and that is the customer at the end of it, and we need to make sure content is delivered certainly at a certain level where it's unique to the market, but also delivering that one message that represents Costa's brand values, and that's selling, a great cup of coffee, lifting up the moment that person's in, whether it's an express machine in store. And so working with tech to deliver that message over multiple screens, app, websites, in store is a challenge, but we have the right tech in place, and people like Anna support us and delivering that message as well.
Fantastic. So obviously we're in the marketing world and we like to go a bit rogue. And also MadFest is about being bold. So, we want to kind of do what we can to ensure that we're continuously innovating. But Anna, I'm going to come to you now. How do you stop people like me and Danielle from going too rogue?
Yeah, so at Vodafone, we spend a lot of time in working with marketing and the creatives in our teams to understand what their needs are, so we can give them the tools for creating that content, delivering that content, but in a guardrail way. So we spend a lot of time at the beginning just to understand what they need and building different frameworks and different templates for that content. But really dynamic way of building those templates so they can actually put their creative stamp on it. So not just giving them templates to really, stop them from what they want to actually launch with that content, but really give them the way of the flexibility to really change it on demand when they want. And not only with Vodafone, but as I mentioned, also with Voxy, which is like dedicated to students and young people. That market changes at a rate that I can't believe it, and they need to react to that really quickly. So the way we built that was building in that configurable content models, and with Contentful, because everything is composable, it really gave us the way of building it in a way that is liked by engineers and loved by marketing teams. So really bringing those words together. So we do have those, standards in place, but also adding in configuration to customize that to the needs of the marketing people. And yeah, just like leaving the choice to them to really push for what they really want to show on our website, what kind of content they want to show in the way they want to show it.
Great. And can you just elaborate a bit more on a story you told me earlier? So I heard a great story about how you kind of collaborate with that team. So I'd love it if you could share.
Yeah, so with our Voxy team, when I started working with the marketing team really closely, because as I mentioned, really young public there, the marketing team didn't really come to me to ask me for anything. They were like, yeah, I know the engineering team takes 2-3 months to build something that then we can use in a campaign. It's just not fast enough. And we introduced Contentful. And as soon as we put the content out there and gave them access to the actual UI in Contentful, which was really easy for them to understand because they're not technical people, it was just a click of a button, change the content. And we had one morning, one of our proposition lead came to me and said, there's this legal copy, we need to really change it really quickly because it's a legal requirement. How do we do this? Which engineer needs to get involved? And I was like, actually, I can show you how to do it in Contentful. And we've done it and pressed the button in a second, was on the website, updated, no issue with legal team. And they were like, was that just Contentful? Just that easy? And I was like, yeah, it's just Contentful. And since then, there is no one day they don't ask me for another feature to be, yeah, can you integrate it with Contentful? Can you give me that power to make those changes really quickly? And since then, the relationship is so close. They really have seen that we can work way closer and way faster together. But again, with great tools and really working together, showcasing the benefits of those tools to the marketing teams really helps. So yeah, since then, it's a great relationship.
Amazing. I'm going to quote you there. It's a case study moment for me. So I'm going to offend everybody in the room and talk about seasonality of content and use the C word in July. I think I'm allowed to do that, given that we've had a terrible summer so far. So I think within every industry, seasonality is really, really important. So I'm going to come to you first and talk about, Costa, how do you manage that? I get so excited about the Christmas coffee campaign, for example. And Anna, we think about the launch of a new handset, for example. I imagine these things take months and months of planning. I think, lots of support from an engineering perspective and lots of kind of content and media planning. So Danielle, how do you manage that?
Yeah, so Christmas actually starts for Costa in January, which is terrifying, and it starts at a brand level. So obviously our experts at that side in the brand team will go out and do the market research. We have staple products that return every year, but we like to refine and offer new things to our customers. So it's about taking the product and then delivering that over our different digital channels. So Christmas actually hits digital around about now, actually, July. So I think when I come back to my desk tomorrow, there'll be a brief about how we can get the Christmas range looking fantastic on the website. But actually, it's not just the website, it's the app, and it's that consistent message over express machines and digital screens. There has to be a line and a synergy throughout all. And it takes planning and preparation and learning and optimizing, measuring what works, what doesn't, what really resonates with our customers. And a big part of our roadmap this year is personalisation. So it's about taking Christmas and what we know our customers like, but then also delivering it in a way that is valuable to them and personal and resonates with them. So you might like a particular drink with a particular topping on it, and we then can tailor that and deliver our loyalty members a unique message that really resonates with them. But it's also about how do we attract new customers as well. So then we have the channels like the website and express machines that will attract them and hopefully get onto our loyalty scheme, so we can then really find out more about them and deliver quick messages. But it's interesting, I was talking to you earlier about seasonality and about how quickly you have to respond, especially to the British weather. So a big, other than Christmas, which, you know, it's usually pretty cold, a hot drink does pretty well. But in the summer, we have a big focus on ice, and I think only last week we did a big campaign about ice drinks, and we've had to pivot to hot drinks this week. So we do have to really, switch up the messaging, the tone, and people like Anna and our tech team really respond to that to make sure we've got the tools in place to deliver not just consistent messaging, but messaging that needs to pivot and can be tailored and personalised very quickly, so it's really meaningful to our consumers and they come back to us.
Amazing, thank you. And Anna, how do you support teams like Danielle's?
Yeah, so let me start with where we actually started. There was a time when Vodafone had, like, especially in autumn, we've got like a big phone launch, and then immediately after we got Black Friday, and then we've got Christmas. Our teams had to work on these three in parallel to make sure they are ready at the right time, and then just switch the branches in the code, which was really hard. So with Contentful in place, what we've done is really worked with the marketing teams to understand what is the campaign they want to launch, what are the tools they already have, so in terms of the models and what they actually need in terms of putting it out there, and then build those in early on. So now we just need just a small amount of time, maybe 2 weeks to 1 month, to really build those in. So from where we started, where we were working for 3 to 6 months on those 3 campaigns at the same time, and trying to not get any kind of conflicts between those two so we can actually put them out there, to now when we actually, for the campaigns coming up in September for a new phone, we only had to work on 1 new model. That was all we had to add on top of what we already built. And just working with the marketing team to really understand what's the next campaign, what we need to build on top of what we have, and again, just compose those models. It really helps us. And it's not just from the having the functionality, but being available for the amount of traffic we drive in with those campaigns is really important. So again, having platforms that allow us to scale to those peaks in traffic is really important, because it's really showcasing to our customers we are there for them when they need us to be there. If they need to buy something from our website, we are there, and we've got the right content at the right time. So especially with some phones, when we launch them, there is a specific time of the day, that minute, if it's available, you've got most of the traffic from all the other websites. And that's really important. That's kind of what we've done, working together with the marketing teams and working together with the technical teams to understand how we have that availability all the time, especially in those peak seasons. And yeah.
Great. I think, it just shows that the two functions together, the engineering function and marketing, are the machine that really drives that dynamic content and customer journey. So very, very quickly before we finish, I just want to say to you, kind of put it out there to you both. What do you feel needs to happen between the two functions to really continue to elevate and move forward? What do you need from the engineering team, and what do you need from the marketing team to really kind of execute?
I think a big one is trust, and although we are different disciplines, we do need to work towards a shared vision, which is the customer experience. And I think at heart, that's where both teams are, that's where their values lie. So trust is a big one. And I think it works both ways. Trust that we're giving tech the right requirements and the business objective is really clear. But also, my colleagues like Anna will have the tools in place that we can send out a message, tweak it if we need to, and also scale it globally and take and learn and optimize and send that out to our markets for them, less mature markets, let's say, for them to learn from and then execute as well, and then we ultimately have global growth. So I think trust is something that we have in place, and then we'll also need and to keep fostering.
And I think at the end of the day, we just need to think, like, from a customer perspective, all it matters is the customer experience, and bringing that into the discussion between tech and marketing and all the other functions is really important. We want to be there for our customers, and on top of trust, I will probably say that honest feedback between our disciplines is really important. So in my early days working with the marketing teams, I wouldn't have any requirements. They would just say, yeah, everything is fine, it works, but they had so many issues maybe with the way we implemented it, because it was like a technology thinking of how we build those content models. But once we opened that door and we asked for honest feedback from them of, like, is this efficient? Is this working well for you? Just opening that door of communication, they start giving us the feedback, and we improve those products so much now. They love them, and they can't wait to introduce them in all the places where they work with content. So yeah, like in the stages, we don't have content only on the website. We have it on our backend services, which never thought that is possible because this content is front end. But also on our mobile app, and we have the same content that's on mobile app. It's on the website in sync. That's really important. But again, it's communication, giving that feedback and trust that really builds everything.
Fantastic, and thank you both very much for your time. If you want to check out any of the use cases, feel free to come and visit our fantastic parasol out there. We've got some great swag, some socks, and the team can talk you through how Contentful support Vodafone and Costa Coffee. Thank you very much.